Hello everyone, welcome to VictorMaC, a YouTube channel that provides you with educational videos. If you're watching for the first time, once again, welcome. This is the 2021 WAEC Math practice with the WASSCE 2020 Math Past Questions. The complete 50 objective questions have been solved and explained in this video. It is free for you to watch either online or you download, but please do not sell. This video is not for sale, please and please. It took a lot of time and effort making this video, and it's made free for you. Please like, subscribe and share this video on your social media platforms: WhatsApp, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. If you're watching from Ghana, Sierra Leone, Liberia, Gambia, or here in Nigeria or in any other country, please like, share and subscribe. Thank you. Please support this channel to grow and also encourage me to do more. Support this ministry, like, subscribe and share. You can always leave a comment, and if you have any questions you can also send them through our email, victorsmathchannel@gmail.com. This email address is added to this video description. We have 100 questions for you to practice with. Please study and prepare for your maths exams. Do away with video games and movies for this period of time. I have solved 100 questions on this channel now. If you're watching online right now, you can click on the link showing at the upper part of this video. This will take you directly to the playlist of videos of the complete 50 objective questions of the WASSCE 2019 Math Past Questions. In this playlist, the 50 questions were solved in 5 parts, with each video having video description. You can easily click on the drop down arrow under the video to get the video description. I decided to make this year's 2021 WAEC Math practice with WASSCE 2020 Maths question a complete single video. That is why it is an hour plus, about 1 hour 35 minutes. Showing on your screen are the 7 topics forming an aggregate of 37 questions out of the 50 objective questions in WASSCE 2020, making 74% of the objective questions. These same topics formed 35 questions out of 50 questions in the WASSCE 2019, making up 70% of the objective questions also. Looking at the first topic, the algebraic processes, we have 10 questions out of 50 objective questions set from this topic alone. The subtopic featured in this 2020 WASSCE objective questions include undefined fractions, simultaneous equations, subject of formula or relation, quadratic equations, algebraic substitution, word problems leading to simultaneous equations, algebraic functions and graphs, linear inequalities. I used a short animation to explain the solution to one of these questions from this topic in this video for clarity. And while in 2019 we have 9 questions from this topic. Number 2, plane geometry. We have 8 questions from this topic. The same thing as we have in 2019, we have 8 questions. Alright. Number 3, we have statistics and probability with 5 questions in 2020. Under statistics, we have the interquartile range, standard deviation, pie chart, and then 2 questions on probability. Okay, making 5 questions. But in 2019, we have 8 questions from statistics and probability. Alright, the next one we have circuit geometry. In 2020, we have 4 questions from this topic, while in 2019 we have 3 questions. And I can say categorically that 99% of the time questions will always come on circuit geometry, so you have to take it seriously. Then number 5, coordinate geometry. In 2020 we have 4 questions, including slope or gradient of a line, equation of a line, parallel to another line which passes through a particular point. But in 2019, one question from this topic. And then number 6, measuration, right? Talking about total surface area and volume of solid shapes. We have 3 questions in 2020 and also 3 questions from this topic in 2019. Then number 7, trigonometry. We have 3 questions in 2020 and also 3 questions from this topic in 2019. But this does not mean you should not focus on the other topics, as they are also important and also count, as we have them showing on your screen now. Commercial arithmetic, we have 2 questions in 2020, that is on percentage discount, and the other one's on simple interest. Then we have 2 questions from proportion. The next one, numerical process, where you can be asked to find the value of addition of numbers, maybe in decimals, or subtraction of numbers, and then approximation at the end of the question. Approximation is very important as well, how to round off. Then the next one, we have sets, indices, modular arithmetic, logarithm, number base, sorts, logic, sequences. All these ones, we have 1 question each from them. If you're watching online, you can click on the settings icon, which has the symbol of a K, and then you can adjust the captions, the video quality. You can change from auto 360p to 480p or 720p, and also adjust the speed of the video as well, and click OK. Also, subscribe to this channel to get video tutorials on how to make graphic designs like the ones showing on your screen and video editing using your smartphone. I'll be right back after this timeout. Thank you. Welcome back. Okay, this is WASSCE 2020 mathematics questions. Question number 1. Evaluate correct to 2 decimal places 75.0785 minus 34.624 plus 9.83. First, combine these two and you press your calculator. You're going to have this result 40.4545, and then when you add it up with 9.83, you're going to have 50.2845. Now the answer we're to give must be correct to 2 decimal places. So when we correct this answer to 2 decimal places, we're going to have 50.2. 4 can't round 8 up, so we're going to add 0, and the answer is 50.28. Option C. Okay, the next question is number WASSCE 2020 maths questions, question 2. Said if x is equal to element x such that x is less than 7. Alright, this is x is having elements x less than 7. So from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. These are the numbers we're picking from the universal set. Alright, and then y is giving us elements y such that y is a factor of 24 as subsets of the universal set. So y, what are the factors of 24? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 8. We can't select 12 and 24 because our universal set doesn't have provision for that. So the universal set, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And we're to find x intersection y. X intersection Y means what are the elements common to X and Y? What's the intersection between them? So looking at the board now, we have this summary. Okay, we have it. This is the universal set again. There's the X, there's the Y. So what are the elements common to X and Y? Alright. We have X intersection Y. We have 1 to be common, followed by 2, followed by 3, 4, and 6. So our answer is going to be option B. Option B. The next question was 2020 mathematics questions. Question number 3. But to simplify 16 over 9 raised to power minus 3 over 2 times 16 raised to power minus 3 over 4 all in raised to power 1 over 3. Okay, the first thing, let's try to combat all the negative powers. Let us use them, which is the same thing as reciprocal law. So when we apply the negative power on 16 over 9, we're going to turn it upside down. We're going to switch the numerator and denominator, so we're going to have a positive power, 3 over 2. Then times, the same thing goes with 16 over 1, it becomes 1 over 16 to the power of 3 over 4, or is per 1 over 3. Now, considering the square root of 9 over 16 is 3 over 4, alright? The fourth root of 16 is 1 over 2, okay? Now, looking at the fraction in between now, 3 over 4 is having power 3, also 1 over 2 is having power over 3. So we can factorize that power and then use it to multiply our 1 over 3 outside it. Alright, so 3 cancel 3, and then the final answer is 3 over 8. Option C. Alright, next question. Number 4 of WASSCE 2020 mathematics questions. Question number 4. Find the least value of x which satisfies the equations 4x equals to 7 mod 9. Alright, all we have to do is to think of multiples of 4. Multiples of 4 that we will divide by 9 and will leave us a remainder of 7. So let's list out some multiples of 4. 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24. Let's just stop here. Let's start with the first one. When I divide 4 by 9, it is 0 remainder 4, and that's not my remainder. Alright, so let's proceed. Dividing 8 by 9 again, it is 0 remainder 8. But when I divide 12 by 9, it is 0 remainder 3. So I'm also going to discard that, just like I discard this one. Then when I divide 16 by 9, I have 1 remainder 7. So definitely my 4x is congruent or the same as 16. When I divide both sides by 4, this implies that my x is going to be 4, and that's option D. Alright. WASSCE 2020 mathematics questions. Question number 5. But to express 1 plus 2 log 3 base 10 in the form log q base 10. First, 1 can be re-expressed as log 10 base 10. And also, these 2 can be transferred as the power of 3. So we have log 3 squared base 10. Applying the laws of logarithm, bringing the common log with this common base, then we have 10. Your addition will change to times 3 raised to power 2. And then next we have 10 times 9, because This is as 10 times 9, and that is log 90 base 10. Option A, because it's similar to our form. So our Q is 90. So option A is the correct answer. Right. Question number 6 of WASSCE 2020 mathematics questions. Question number 6. If 101 base 2 plus 12 base y equals to 23 base 5, but to find the value of y, the first thing is to convert all these numbers to base 10. And how do we do that? We multiply all the digits of every base number by the current base. Alright, so we have the first one, 1 times 2, 0 times 2, 1 times 2. Then we attach our powers 0, 1, 2, plus the other number in base y is 12. So we multiply 1 by y, also 2 by y. Then we attach our powers. This form, this is equal to 2 times 5 plus 3 times 5. Also put our powers 0 and 1. Alright, let's start with the first bracket. 1 times 2 raised power 2 is 4. 0 times 2 raised power 1 is 0. And then 1 times 1, because 2 raised power 0 is 1. So 1 times 1 is 1. Plus 1 times y, we have y. 2 times y raised power 0. Y raised power 0 is 1, so 2 times 1 is 2. Alright, equals to 2 times 5 raised power 1 is 10. And then 3 times 5 raised power 0 is same as 3 times 1. So we have 3. So we have equals to 13. 4 plus 1, 5. 5 plus 2, 7. So we have 7 plus y. Then, when we transfer 7 to the other side, we have 13 minus 7. So y is 6. And that is option C. Alright. WASSCE 2020 mathematics questions. Question number 7. Said an amount of 550,000 naira was realized when the principal X was saved at 2% simple interest for 5 years. Find the value of X. Now, the principal given to us is X, the rate is 2%, and the time, T, is 5 years. Alright? Now, when an amount is realized from a principal, it might be as a result of a loan borrowed, then will generate an interest, or whether money is being, a certain amount is being deposited in a bank account, definitely it will yield an interest as well. So the amount A is realized when interest is added to the principal. Our principal is given as X, and the amount realized is 550,000 naira. Okay, so also we know that our formula for interest, simple interest, is PRT over 100. But from here, from the equation above, let's make interest the subject of the formula. We're going to have I as 550,000 minus X. Alright, so by the formula for simple interest is given as PRT over 100. So I'm going to substitute this simple interest and principal X, rate 2%, and the time T in this formula. So let's go. Alright, so we have interest is given as 550,000 minus X equals to the principal. The principal is X, the rate is 2, and the time is 5 over 100. Alright, when we cross multiply, 100 will multiply 550,000 minus X, and then when we simplify the numerator here, we're going to have 10x. Alright. So proceeding, we are going to have 100 times 550,000. It's going to give us 55 million minus 100x. Transferring minus 100x to the right hand side, we're going to have 100x plus 10x equals to 55 million. And this is 100x plus 10x is what? 110x equals to 55 million. When we divide both sides by 110, 0 cancels 0, 110 cancels 110. Then 11 and 55, we have 1, and then our final answer will be x is equal to 5 with 5 zeros, and that is 500,000. So the principal x is 500,000 naira, and that is option D. That is option D. All right. Question number 8 of the WASSCE 2020 mathematics questions. Question number 8. Given that root 3 plus root 5 over root 5 equals to x plus y root 15, find the value of x plus y. Now the first thing to do on the left hand side is to rationalize the denominator. Since we have a monomial sword at the denominator and not a binomial sword like this, we don't need to multiply both the numerator and denominator by the conjugate of the sword, something like this. But since it's a monomial sword, just root 5, definitely the rationalization will just be by multiplying both numerator and denominator of this fraction by root 5. Okay, so on expansion we're going to have root 5. We'll multiply the whole of this, so we have root 5 into root 3 plus root 5. Root 5 times root 5 will give us root 25 at the denominator. Alright, when we expand the numerator, root 5 times root 3 is root 15. Root 5 times root 5 is under root 25. Root 15. Root 5 is 5. Root 25 is 5. Then root 25 also is also 5. Now, when we divide both terms, the two terms at the numerator, by the two terms at the numerator by 5, we're going to have root 15 over 5, distributing it also 5 over 5. Okay, we can distribute the denominator over the two terms at the numerator, so we have root 15 over 5 plus 1, and it's actually the form we want. We're to write it in the form x plus y root 15. So following that format, x plus y root 15, we'll compare this answer x plus y root 15 with our answer here 1 plus root 15 over 5. We can rearrange it as this. So we have it here also. So x is 1, and then y is 1 over 5. Okay, looking at this way, 1 over 5. So x is 1, like we have here, and then y is 1 over 5. And we're to find x plus y. X is 1, y is 1 over 5. So when we add up, we're going to get one number 1 over 5, which is option C. Option C. Alright? Question number 9 of WASSCE 2020 mathematics questions. Question number 9. If x equals to 3 and y equals to minus 1, or to evaluate 2x squared minus y cubed, that is 2 into bracket x squared, and our x is 3, so we square the 3 minus y cubed, or y is minus 1. And when we take the cube of minus 1, like that, 3 squared is 9 minus the cube of minus 1 is going to be minus 1, so that we have 2. 9 minus minus 1 is 9 plus 1, and that is 2 times 10. So answer is 20, option C. Option C. Okay? Question number 10 of the WASSCE 2020 mathematics questions. To solve the simultaneous equation 3x minus 2y equals to 10 and x plus 3y equals to 7. By using the elimination method, for this question, if I want to eliminate x, then I'll multiply equation 1 by 1, then multiply equation 2 by 3, so that I will have the same coefficients for x. So let's go. When we multiply equation 1 by 1, we're going to have 3x minus 2y equals to 10. Then equation 2 by 3, we're going to have 3x plus 9y equals to 21. And when we subtract, because that will help us to eliminate x, when we subtract, 3x will cancel 3x. Then minus 2y minus plus 9y, that's minus 2y minus 9y, that's minus 11y. Then 10 minus 21 is minus 11. When we divide both sides by minus 11, then our answer, minus 11, sorry, then our answer for y will be what? Will be 1. Alright? Y is 1. And then when we try to substitute 1 in equation 2, this is equation 2. We have x plus 3 times 1 equals to 7. So x plus 3 equals to 7. Then x is 7 minus 3, that is 4. So the correct option is option D. Option D. Right? Number 11 of the WASSCE 2020 mathematics questions. Question 11. The implication statement x implies y is equivalent to this contrapositive. We call this contrapositive. We call this the inverse, and this is called converse. Inverse, converse, and the contrapositive of the implicative statement. Right. Let's look at this table. When x is true, the statement x is true and y is true, we have it here. When x is true and y is false, when x is false and y is true, and when x statement is false and y is also false. Now, the implication x implies y. If a true statement implies a true statement, then definitely is going to be true. When true statement x implies a false statement y, is going to be false. And when false statement implies a true statement y, is going to be true. When false statement x implies a false statement y, is going to be true. Alright? Meaning that when the two statements coming together under the implication are of the same truth value. True, true, it is true. They have the same truth value as false, false, it will be true as well. But whenever they are different, the result takes on the last truth value of your implication statement. When true implies false, it is false. When true implies false, it is false. When false implies true, it is true. Alright? Now, let's see the behavior of contrapositive. Look at this table, and that tells us the answer. That is, a negation of y implies negation of x. When false implies false, it is true. When true implies false, it is false. When false implies true, it is true. And then when true implies true, it is true. Looking at this implicative statement and the contrapositive means you're not going to only negate the two statements, but you're going to reverse it. So this is equivalent to this. So this is the answer. Ordinarily, if you go with this is called inverse, meaning that you just negate these two statements like we have here, and that's not going to be equivalent to the implicative statement given to us. And also, if you even do the converse, that is, you reverse the two propositions or the two statements, y and x, as we have in option D, it's not going to be equivalent to our original implication, or we call it conditional statement. So the correct answer is option A. Option A, because this answer is equivalent to this. This statement is equivalent to this statement. Alright? That's option A is the correct answer for 11. Now, question number 12 of the WASSCE 2020 mathematics questions, question number 12. The first term of a geometric progression is 3. The first term of a geometric progression is given as 3. And the fifth term is 48. Alright, find the common ratio. Okay, for finding the common ratio, looking at the formula for nth term, the nth term of a 3p is given by this formula. So when I put n as 1, I've written before, if I put n as 1, we are going to have u1 equals to a r raised to power 1 minus 1, that's r raised to power 0, and that's simply writing a times 1, because r raised to power 0 is 1. So the first term, a, is given as 3, and then using the same nth term formula for the fifth term, that's ar 5 minus 1, that is ar raised to power 4, and this answer has been given to us as 48. So our u5 for the fifth term is ar raised to power 4 equals to 48. Then when we divide the fifth term by the first term, meaning ar raised to power 4 divided by a, is 48 over 3. A cancel a, r raised to power 4 equals to 3 in 48 is 16. When we find the fourth root of 16, the fourth root of 16 is 2, so the common ratio r is 2, option A. Alright, option A. Question number 13 of the WASSCE 2020 mathematics questions. Or to solve 1 over 3 into bracket 5 minus 3x less than 2 over 5 open bracket 3 minus 7x. Let's start by multiplying through. We multiply through by the LCM of 3 and 5. Those are our denominators. The LCM of 3 and 5 is what? 15, so multiply through by 15. We multiply this by 15 and this by 15. Let me write it. 15 1 over 3 5 minus 3x less than 15 times 2 over 5 into bracket 3 minus 7x. 3 in 15 is 5, and then 5 in 15 is 3 times 2, 3 minus 7x. So 5 multiplying this bracket on the left, we're going to have 5 times 5 is 25. 5 times minus 3x is minus 15x less than. Then we have a 6 here to multiply 3 minus 7x. But we also expand the the right hand side. 6 times 3 is 18. 6 times minus 7x is minus 42x. Collecting like terms, bringing minus 42x to the left hand side, we're going to have positive 42x. Joining minus 15x on the left, less than 18. Then transferring 25 from the left to the right, it becomes minus 25. Alright. (42x minus 15x), that's going to give us 27x. 18 minus 25 is going to give us minus 7. When we divide both sides by 27, our answer is minus 7 over 27. Alright, which is option D. Option D. Okay. Number 14 of the WASSCE 2020 mathematics questions. Question number 14. Make m the subject of the relation k equals to square root of m minus y over m plus 1. The first thing is to take the square of both sides. When I square both sides, we have k squared. The square cancels out this square root, so we have m minus y over m plus 1. Then cross multiply, we're going to have k squared multiply m plus 1 equals to m minus y. K square m, and then k squared times 1 is k squared equals to m minus y. Collecting like terms, our m to one side, we're going to have m on the right. Transferring k squared m to the right, we're going to have minus k squared m. Then minus y, joining k squared on the left, we're going to have positive y. So k squared plus y, m, open bracket 1 minus k squared. Alright. We'll divide both sides by 1 minus k squared. We'll have this 1 minus k squared. So this cancels out this. So m is equal to k squared y over 1 minus k squared. Alright, and that is option B. Option B. Alright, we can write it as this: m equals to y plus k squared 1 minus k squared. Okay. Alright. The next question, number 15 of WASSCE 2020 mathematics question. Number 15. We said find the quadratic equation whose roots are 1 over 2 and minus 1 over 3. Using the formula for developing quadratic equations, when the roots are given, the formula is given by this: x squared minus sum of roots x plus product of the roots. Product of roots. Alright. So when we find the sum of our roots, 1 over 2 plus minus 1 over 3 is the same as half minus 1 over 3. Finding the LCM, 2 in 6 is 3 times 1, 3, minus 3 in 6 is 2 times 1, 2. So our sum is 1 over 6. When we multiply the product of the roots, 1 over 2 times minus 1 over 3, okay, we're going to have minus 1 over 6. Alright, so let us plug in our values into this formula. We have x squared minus the sum of root is 1 over 6 times the x plus the product of root is another minus 1 over 6 equals to 0. When we multiply through by the denominator, LCM of denominators, which is 6. But before we do that, let's write this. We have x squared minus 1 over 6x plus times minus is minus 1 over 6. So when we multiply everything by 6, we're going to have 6x squared. 6 will cancel 6, we're going to have minus 1x. And then 6 cancelling 6, we're going to have minus 1 equals to 0. And that is option D. Option D. Alright? This was 2020 mathematics questions, question number 16. Given that x is directly proportional to y and inversely proportional to z, this actually implies that when we change our proportionality sign to equal sign and introduce a constant of proportionality, we have ky over z. We're given x to be 15, y to be 10, and z to be 4. Substituting that in our equation, we're going to have x as 15 equals to k times 10 as y, and z is 4. This implies that when we cross multiply 4 times 15, we have 60, and k times 10. So we have 60 equals to k times 10 is 10k. When we divide both sides by 10, 60 divided by 10 is 6. So our constant of proportionality is 6. When we substitute that into this, we're going to have x equals to 6y over z. And that is option A. Right? Question number 17. Two buses start from the same station at 9 a.m. and travel in opposite directions along the same straight road. The first bus travels at a speed of 70 km per hour and the second at 40 km per hour. At what time will they be 240 kilometers apart? Looking at the animation below, it explains the starting point of two buses, bus 1 and 2. Okay, moving on the same straight road. So looking at a short animation that we'll be seeing shortly. Can you see the movement? This movement explains it all. The school bus on the left, facing the left hand side, moves faster than the one on the right. Okay, so we have the final destination as this. Alright, so from this starting point, let's believe that the school bus 1 moving at a higher speed covers a distance of x kilometers. Definitely the remaining distance, if you subtract x from 240, the distance left so that the two buses are at 240 kilometers apart will be this distance, which is 240 minus x. That will be distance here. So now, and we know that the formula for speed is distance over time. Alright, so looking at the bus 1, the school bus 1 on the left, its speed is 70 km per hour equals to the distance it covers, which is x from starting point over the time t. Okay, we're looking for that time t at which two of them will be 240 km from each other. Then for the second bus going in the right direction, its own speed is 48 km per hour equals to the distance it covered is 240 minus x. Alright, because when you add 240 minus x with x, it gives us 240 kilometers apart for the two buses. Alright, so the speed is 48 equals to distance 240 minus x over the time. The time here is also what? T, because they are moving at the same time simultaneously. They started at the same time, so we're having the same time t. Okay, so let's cross multiply now. We're going to have 72t equals to x. Alright, and then 48t equals to 240 minus x. So we have two equations, equation 1 and equation 2. Okay, this is equation 2. Alright, let's us substitute our x, which is in equation 1, into equation 2, such that when we substitute equation 1 into 2 now, anywhere we see x, we replace by 72t. So we are going to have 48t now. Let's do 40 minus x. Minus x now makes 72t. Collecting like terms, transferring 72t to the right, to the left hand side, we have positive 72t plus 240. 72 plus 48 to give us 120. 120 t equals to 240, and then divide both sides by 120, then 120 cancel 120, so the time is 2 hours. So the two buses will be 240 kilometers apart after 2 hours. So when we add 2 hours to 9 a.m., 9 a.m. plus 2 hours, it was 11 a.m. So looking at the option C is the correct answer, 11 a.m. Question number 18 of the WASSCE 2020 mathematics questions. We have a cuboid. It's on the cuboid was length 7 cm, width 5 cm, and height 4 cm. Calculate its total surface area. Looking at the shape below, which illustrates our diagram, the length is 7 centimeters, the height is 4 centimeters, and the breadth here is 5 centimeters. The formula for calculating total surface area of a cuboid is twice LP, LH, and BH. L is 7 times breadth is 5, plus L is 7 times H, which is 4, plus B, which is 5 times H, which is 4. So we have 35 plus 28 plus 20. We add everything in the bracket, we're going to have 83. So 2 times 83, our answer is 166 centimeters squared. And that is going to be option B. Right? Question 19 of WASSCE 2020 mathematics questions. It said, in the diagram, PQ is parallel to SR, find the value of X. We have several methods. We can choose this to divide this line all through. We have this shape given to us. This is 246. This is X degrees, and this is 68. When we try to draw a parallel line, like this, broken lines that will parallel to PQ and also parallel to SR, this angle will be alternate to X, and this also another 68. An angle at the point, remember, it's equals to 360. So when we add X plus 68 plus 246 equals to 360. 68 plus 246 is 314, and then X equals to 360 minus 314, and that gives us 46 degrees, and that's option B. Option B. Okay? Option B is the correct answer for X. Now, question number 20 of the WASSCE 2020 mathematics questions. Find the equation of the line parallel to 2y equals to 3 into bracket x minus 2 and passes through the points 2 over 3. Now, we know that the formula for finding gradient of a line passing through a point, the gradient of a line, gradient m of a line passing through point x1 and y1. Let's say this is our x1, and these are y1. X1 is 2, y1 is 3. The formula is y minus y1 over x minus x1. Now, how do we get the gradient? Since the two lines are parallel, then the line with this equation is parallel to the other line we're looking for that is passing through this point. Definitely, their gradients will be the same. So let's find the gradient of this equation. How do we write this? 2y, expanding this bracket with 3, we have 3x minus 6. Dividing both sides by 2, we have 3x minus 6 over 2. This implies that our y is 3 over 2x minus 6 over 2, meaning that y is 3 over 2x minus 3. Looking at the coefficient of x, that tells us the gradient because we compare that equation with this equation of gradient in y-intercept form. If you compare it, our m is the same as this 3 over 2. So definitely for this problem now, where we have to use the equation of gradient of a line passing through point x1 and y1, our m will also be 3 over 2. Then y minus y1, our y1 has been given as 3 here, and then the next to it is our x1, which is 2. So when we cross multiply, we're going to have 3 x minus 2, 2 into y minus 3. Alright? We expand the left, we have 3x minus 6, 2y minus 6. Then we have 3x minus 6 plus 6. By creating like terms, 6 cancels 6. So 3x equals to 2y. And when we make y the same formula, dividing both sides by 2, y will be 3 over 2x. And that is option C, 3 over 2x. Question number 21 of the WASSCE 2020 mathematics questions. The expression 5x plus 3 over 6x into bracket x plus 1 will be undefined when x equals what? Whenever an expression is undefined, a fraction is undefined, it means that the denominator is 0. So let us set this denominator to be 0. Alright, so when we set the denominator to be 0, what value of x makes that denominator to be 0, which is actually 6x in the bracket x plus 1. When two expressions multiply and give us 0, it means that the first one is 0 or the second expression is 0. 6x is 0 or, so when they multiply it gives us 0. So when we solve the first one, we have x equal to 0. When we divide both by 6, also correct like times here, minus 1. So the two answers is 0 and minus 1. Option B. Question number 22 of the WASSCE 2020 mathematics questions. Number 22. It said, a man is 5 times as old as his son. Let us use y for his son. In 4 years' time, that is the man's age plus 4, and also the son's age plus 4. Said in 4 years' time, the product of their ages, will be 340. If the son's age is y, according to the notation I'm using, express the product of their ages in terms of y. So we're to express this product as terms of y. So let us expand. But before we expand, we're going to change this m to 5y. That is substituting equation 1 into equation 2. Alright, so we have 5y plus 4, y plus 4 equals to 340. So we expand 5y times y and then 5y times 4. So let's go. 5y times y is 5y squared. 5y times 4 is 20y. And also, when we take 4 to multiply y and then 4 to multiply 4. We're going to have 4y and 16. Okay? So when we try to simplify, we have 5y squared. 20y plus 4y is 24y plus 16. Transferring 340 from the right to the left, we have minus 340 equals 0. We'll simplify that 5y squared plus 24y. 16 minus 340 is minus 324 equals to 0. And the correct option is option D. Alright. Next one, number 23, which is WASSCE 2020 mathematics question number 23. Let's simplify A over B minus B over A minus C over B. The LCM of B, A, and B, that is our denominators, is AB. Now the B in AB was A, so A times A is A squared minus A in AB is B. B times minus B, we're going to have minus B squared. And then B in AB is A. A times minus C, we have minus AC. And then the correct option here is option D. Option D. Number 24 of the WASSCE 2020 mathematics questions. We're given Z, X, T, and Y. So in the diagram, X, Y, Z is an equilateral triangle of side 6 centimeter, and T is the midpoint. So if this is 6, and the whole of the base here is also 6, well, we say that T is the midpoint, T. So this is 3, xt is 3, and yt is also 3. We said find the tan of angles xzt. This is angle xzt. Now, tan of angle xzt by Pythagoras, tangent of an angle is opposite, which is 3 over adjacent, which is zt. How do we get zt? Using the Pythagoras rule in triangle xzt, the square of the hypotenuse is 6 squared, and the square of the opposite, then zt squared. 36, 9, zt squared. 36 minus 9 is going to give us 27, which is our zt squared. Alright, so zt is the square root of 27, which is equal to the square root of 9 times 3. Alright, and that actually gives us 3 root 3. So when plugging that value here, we're going to have 3 over 3 root 3. 3 cancel 3, we have 1 over root 3. Okay, so, and that is option A, 1 over root 3. That's our the tangent of angle xzt. Question number 25 of the WASSCE 2020 mathematics questions. A fence 2.4 meters tall is 10 meters away. A fence 2.4 meters tall is 10 meters away from a tree. So let's say this is our tree. The tree is 60 meters. Calculate the angle of elevation on the top of the tree from the top of the fence. Since our fence from the top, if you have an observer at this point, what's the angle of elevation? There's a theta here. Then this will be 10 meters as well. I mean this shape. Alright. So if we subtract 2.4 from 16, we're going to have 13.6. So at the triangle above, that triangular shape here now, angle theta, this is 90, this is 13.6, and this is 10 meters, 13.6 meters. So we have to find The target of angle theta, tan of theta is opposite 13.6 over 10, which is same thing as 1.36. Alright, you try to do that. The tan theta is 1.36. Find the arctan of both sides, or the tan inverse. The tan inverse of 1.36. Using your four figure table or a statistical table or a calculator, you get 53.673, which is approximately the same thing as 53.67 degrees. And that is option B. Option B. WASSCE 2020 mathematics questions number 26. Question number 26. Fatty buys milk at X naira per tin. So the cost price for each tin is X naira, and then and sells each at a profit of X naira, of a profit of Y naira. So the profit made on each, profit on each is Y naira. Definitely, the selling price for each tin is the cost price plus profit. That's X plus Y naira. Alright? So we said, how much does she receive from the sales? It says, if she sells 10 tins of milk, how much does she receive for the sale? So 10 tins of milk, just be by multiplying this selling price by 10. So 10 times this X plus Y naira will give us 10 into X plus Y naira, and that is option D. Then question number 27 of the WASSCE 2020 mathematics questions. If tan y is positive and sin y is negative, in which quadrant would y lie? Okay, looking at our popular acronym ASTC for the first, second, and third and fourth quadrant. You know that all angles are positive in the first quadrant, only sine is positive here, tan is positive here, and cosine is positive here. So we said tan is positive, so looking at this, tan is positive, definitely sine and cosine are negative here, and definitely that will be the third quadrant because sine is negative, tangent is positive, sine is negative, so that is third quadrant. All right, option C. Number 28 of the WASSCE 2020 mathematics questions. The dimensions of a rectangular base of a right pyramid are 9 centimeter and by 5 centimeter. Okay, looking at the base of a right pyramid, alright, something of this shape, of this form. The base is 9 centimeters by 5 centimeters. The volume of pyramid is given by what? 1/3 of its base area times height. And this shape, the base area is what? A rectangle. It is 9 times 5 times the height. And don't forget, we've been given the volume. If the volume of the pyramid itself is 105, so 105 centimeter cube. Let's cross multiply 3 times 105, 9 times 5. Then divide that by 9 times 5. This will cancel this, and then we have 9 over 5 here. Alright. So H 3 and 1, 3, and this is 3. 15 in 105. 3 times 5 is 15. So 15 in 105 is 7 times that, 7 centimeters. So correct option is option D. 29. Question number 29 of the WASSCE 2020 mathematics question objective. It said each interior angle of a regular polygon is 168 degrees. Find the number of sides of the polygon. Alright. So looking at this, by the formula for finding sum of interior angles, in any polygon, which is n minus 2 into 180. Since the polygon has all its sides to be equal and all its interior angles to be equal, so each interior will be obtained by dividing the total sum of interior angles into n places. This is the number of sides. And this each interior angle has been given as 168. So we need to get the number of sides. So let's cross multiply n to multiply 168 in that equation circle. We have n minus 2 times 180 and 168n. Expanding this way, we have 180n minus 360 equals to 168n. Collecting like terms, 180n minus 168n. Transferring minus 360 to the right, we have positive 360. 180n minus 168n is going to give us 12n, and that is equals to 360. When you divide both sides by 12, 12 cancel 12, and this implies that our n is what? 30. Our n is 30 sides. The polygon has 30 sides. That's option A. Option A. Number 30 of the WASSCE 2020 mathematics questions. In the diagram, MN is parallel to PQ. MNP is 2x. Angle MNP is 2x. Angle NPQ is 3x minus 50. Find the value of angle NPQ. There's this value. Now, looking at this transversal PN cutting across parallel lines MN and PQ. When a transversal cut across parallel lines, it forms corresponding in some cases and sometimes alternate. In this case, it is alternate angle. So angle 2x is equal to 3x minus 50. When you collect like terms, transferring minus 50 to the left, we have positive 50. Then 3x minus 2x. So x is 50 degrees. And that's not all. We're to find angle NPQ, which is 3x minus 50. So what is 3x minus 50? When we plug in the value of 50 as x, 3 times 50 is 150. So 150 minus 50, the answer is 100. 100, okay? And that will be option D. All right. WASSCE 2020 mathematics questions number 31. The length of an arc of a circle of radius 3.5 centimeters. So the length of an arc of a circle, the length of this arc is given as one whole number 19 over 36, and the radius is 3.5 centimeters. The radius 3.5. Calculate correct to the nearest degrees the angle subtended by the arc at the center of the circle. The angle theta. The length of an arc is a fraction. The length of an arc L is a fraction like this of the total length of a circle. Total length here is the circumference. So it takes theta out of the entire 360. Theta over 360. Alright, so we're given the length as one whole number 19 over 36. We're looking for theta, and the pi has been given this form, so I'm going to use that form also. Don't forget our r is same as 3.5 over 3.5, which is same as 7 over 2. So putting that here, we have 7 over 2. 2 cancel 2, 7 cancel 7. Alright, so when we try to convert the length of the arc given to us to improper fraction, 36 times 1 is 36 plus 19. We're going to have 55 over 36 equals to theta 22 theta over 360. When we cross multiply, the denominators on the right will become numerator on the left, and the numerator on the right will become denominator on the left, joining 55 over 36 on the left. So 36 here is 10, 11 here is 2, 11 here is 5. So 2 in 10, we have 10 times 5 over 2, that's our theta. 50 over 2, the angle is 25 degrees. and that is option C. WASSCE 2020 mathematics questions, question number 32. Said in diagram, PU is parallel to SR, PS is parallel to TR, QS is parallel to UR. So look at this now. PU is parallel to SR, like this. They said PS is parallel to TR, PS is parallel to TR, this with a double arrow, okay, and then QS is parallel to UR, QS is parallel to UR is given as 15 centimeters, SR is given as 8 centimeters, and PS is 10 centimeters. Find the area of triangle SUR, which is the shape. SUR is 24 centimeters square. Calculate the area of a quadrilateral PTRS. When we have triangle like this triangle SUR sharing the same base with a quadrilateral, then by the theorem that says that the area of the triangle is half the area of such quadrilateral, because they are sharing the same base and the triangles between the parallel lines. So definitely our answer here just cross multiply, so the answer is 2 times 24, and that is 48 degrees. 48 centimeters squared. So 48 centimeters squared, that's the area of triangle PTR. Yes, that's option B. WASSCE 2020 mathematics questions, question number 33. Said in diagram PQR is a circle with center O. If OPQ is 48, find the value of M.
Using the theorem showing on your screen.
By the circle theorem, the arc RQ subtends angle ROQ at the center, which is angle M. That same arc RQ also subtends angle RPQ at the circumference, that is 48 degrees. And by our circle theorem, we know that angle subtended by an arc at the center, which is M now, is always 2 times angle that it subtends at the circumference. So this is M is 2 times 48. So 48 times 2 is what? 96 degrees. And that is option A. Option A. Okay? WASSCE 2020 mathematics question number 34. The pie chart shows the population of men, women, and children in a city. If the population of the city is 1,800,000, how many men are in the city? We have the following options given to us. So what's the population of the men? Very simple. We just try to calculate the angle of the sector for men. If we add up 120 plus 169, that gives us 289 degrees. So angle at the center of the circle is 360. When we subtract 289 from 360, that gives us the angle for the sector of men, and that's going to be 71 degrees. So definitely the population of men in the city is 71 out of the whole of 360 times the total population in the pie chart, which is 1,800,000. Alright, when we simplify this, we're going to get our answer to be 355,000. Right? 355,000, which is option C. WASSCE 2020 mathematics question number 35. The mean of the numbers 15, 21, 17, 26, 18, and 29 is 21. Find the standard deviation. The formula for mean x bar is summation of x over n, and that has been given as 21 in this case. By the formula of standard deviation,
know that formula of standard deviation is summation of x minus x bar squared over n, the square root. We need the square root of everything. So first, listen out our x, the numbers that we have. We're given 15 as the smallest, followed by 17, followed by 18, 21, 26, and 29. Now let's find our x minus x bar before we square the x minus x bar according to the numerator of our formula for standard deviation, which we have here, right? So 15 minus 21, we're going to have what? Minus 6. When we square it, we have 36 minus 6 and minus 6. 17 minus 21, again, we have minus 4. When we square that, we have 16. 18 minus 21, we have minus 3. Minus 3 times minus 3 is 9. 21 minus 21 is 0. 0 times 0 is 0. 26 minus 21 is 5. 5 times 5 is 25. Then 29 minus 1, I mean 21. 29 minus 21 is 8. When we square that, 8, we have 64. And then we need to sum this up. So what's the summation of this? When we sum this column, summation of x minus x bar squared. When we sum it together, 36 plus 16 is 52 plus 9, 61, 61 plus 25, we have 86, 86 plus 64, we need to have 150. Substitute that here, 150 over n. How many values do we have here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's 6. Taking the square root, that's our standard deviation. So the result, 6 and 150 is 25. The square root of 25 is 5. And our standard deviation is option C. Question number 36. Said of WASSCE 2020 mathematics questions. In the diagram, O is the center of the circle, SOQ is the diameter, and SRP is 37. Find the angle PSQ. By one of the theorems of circle geometry, the arc SP subtend angle R. That same arc SP subtend angle Q also. So the angle SRP is equal to angle SQP. So they are both 37 degrees, angle in the same segment. And then, since we know that this is diameter, angle in a semicircle, because this diameter SQ divides the circle into two semicircles. Angle in a semicircle, which is angle SPQ, is 90. So how do we get our required angle, which is angle PSQ? We add up 90 plus 37 and we subtract from 180. That gives us our angle PSQ. So angle PSQ as required in 180 minus 127 by board mass. 190 plus 37, so 180 minus 127 will give us 53 degrees. Option C. Number 37 of WASSCE 2020 mathematics questions. Find the sum of the interior angles of a pentagon. A pentagon has 5 sides, and by the formula we've written earlier on, n minus 2 times 180. So sum of angles in a pentagon is 5 minus 2 times 180. That is 3 times 180, and the answer is 540 degrees. Option C. Question number 38 of the WASSCE 2020 mathematics question objective. The diameter of a sphere is 12 centimeters. Calculate correct to the nearest centimeter cube the volume of the sphere. The formula for volume of sphere is 4 over 3 pi r cube, and the radius is obtained by dividing diameter by 2. The diameter is 12. When we divide by 2, the radius is 6 centimeters. So the volume of our sphere is 4 over 3 times the pi is given as 22 over 7 times the radius, which is 6 times 6 times 6. When we simplify this, we're going to have 905.14, approximately
905 centimeter cube to the nearest centimeter cube, option C.
WASSCE 2020 mathematics questions, question number 39. A box contains 12 identical balls. 5 red, 4 blue, and the rest are green. So how do we get the rest? Add up the number of red and blue balls and subtract from the total. That is 12 minus 9. So we have 3 green balls. So use this information to answer question 39 and 40. So number 39, if a ball is selected at random from the box, what is the probability that it is green? So from the formula for probability of picking a green ball will be number of green, which we've already obtained here, over the number of balls in the box sample space. So we have 3 green balls out of 12 balls, that's 1 over 4. That's option D. And using the same information for question 40, said if 2 balls are selected at random, one after the other with replacement, what's probability that they are both red? So probability of picking red first and red second. Since we are replacing, the sample space will not change to be 12 and 12 all through. So the first time when we pick a red, since we have 5 red, it also will be 5 second time. And that is 25 over 144. And that is option A. WASSCE 2020 mathematics question number 41. So in the diagram, PQ is a straight line. If M is the half of x plus y plus z, find the value of M. Alright, since we know that x plus y plus z plus that angle M is 180 degrees angle on a straight line, and we are told that M on its own is half of this quantity, it is our M same thing as half of the sum of x plus y plus z equals to 180 degrees. Alright, this is one of this quantity, 1 of x plus y plus z, and half of x plus y plus z. 1 plus half is 1 half, or call it 3 over 2 of that same quantity, which is 180. So cross multiplying or multiplying both sides by 2 over 3, we're going to have 2 over 3 times 180. 2 over 3 would have cancelled out this 3 over 2 here. So we have 3, 180 is 60, 2 times 60, the answer is 120. Just for this alone in bracket. So since M is half of the whole of that 120, which is the sum of x plus y plus z, half of 120 is 60. So our answer is 60 degrees, option B. Alright. Was 2020 mathematics questions, question number 42. We said the points on a linear graph are shown in the table. Find the gradient or slope of the line. So this is x1, x2, y1 with corresponding y2. The formula of finding gradient of a line passing through 2 points is given by y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. It is changing y over change in x. So we compare 5.20 as our y2 minus 3.90 as our y1 over x2, which is 6.85, minus x1, which is 6.20. The gradient m going to be 1.3 when you do the solve the numerator over 0.65, and the final answer is 2. Alright, so the gradient is B. WASSCE 22 mathematics question number 43. In the diagram, O is the center of the circle, PQ and RS are tangents. It is PQ and RS are tangents to the circle. Find the value of M plus N. Now we try to label this point. Let's call this point T, the point at which PQ is tangent to the circle, and also this point U, where our tangent RS is tangent to the circle. Alright? Now, if you label this point, let's call this point V. If I draw a line passing through 0, passing through the O, that is parallel to PT or PQ and RS, definitely we're going to have this angle to be M, alternate to angle M, and this will be angle M. Alright? And then, since we know that angle in a semicircle, in that semicircle TUV, the angle that we divided to 2, the whole of that angle is 90 degrees, because angle in a semicircle is 90 degrees. So it means M plus N is what? 90 degrees. And that would be option B. Option B is 90 degrees. Question 44 was 2020 mathematics question number 44. The diagram O is the center of the circle. If NLM is 74 and angle LMN is 39 and angle LOM is x, find the value of x. In the triangle NLM, we are given angle 74 and 39, but we don't know the third angle, which is angle LNM. We know that sum of angles in the triangle is 180. When we sum this together, we're going to have 113. We'll subtract from 180 our angle LNM. 180 minus 113 is 67. So this is 67. And x is angle subtended at the center by arc LM. So angle at the center is twice of angle at the circumference by one of the theorems of circle geometry. So 2 times 67, which is our angle LNM. 2 times 67 is going to give us 134 degrees. And that's option A. Option A, option A, option A. Alright? Okay. Question number 45. Which of the following is not a sufficient condition for two triangles to be congruent? You know that this, when two angles share the same corresponding side, it will be congruent. When two triangles have sides included angle between those two sides, then the included angle, then we know that they are going to be congruent. Also, when we have side angle, it's always going to be congruent. It's only when we have angle side that they won't be congruent, and that is option A. WASSCE 2020 mathematics question number 46. A woman received a discount of 20% on a piece of cloth she purchased from a shop. If you paid $525, what was the original price? Now we know that 100% of the cloth itself is the same thing as the cost price. It is the original cost price. Right? So by giving a 20% discount means that she sold it at 80% of the original cost price. That is the new cost price at which she's selling it. Alright? So 80% means it 100 times cost price of the original is equal to the cost price new. This is the cost price, which is 525. When we cross multiply, the original cost price is going to be $525 times 100 over 80. And when we solve this, we're going to get the cost price to be $626.25. 656.25. That's option C. WASSCE 2020 mathematics question number 47. The interquartile range of a distribution is 7. The interquartile range of a distribution is 7, and interquartile range formula is upper quartile Q3 minus lower quartile. We are given that to be 7, and the lower quartile, which is called the average of the lower half, same thing as Q1. It's always obtained by what? It's also called the 25th percentile, and that has been given as what? It has been given as 16. Our Q1 is 16. Substituting that in here, Q3 minus 16 equals to 7. Then Q3 is our upper quartile. 16 plus 7, that is 23. So the upper quartile Q3 is 23. WASSCE 2020 mathematics questions, question number 48. The graphs of the equations y equals to 2x plus 5 and y equals to 2x squared plus x minus 1 are shown. Use the information to answer questions 48 and 49. Now, number 48 says, find the points of intersection of the two graphs. This graph is a linear graph. While this graph is the quadratic graph or the curve that we have. Okay. Now, the points of intersection of these two graphs, looking at the graph below now, the two graphs meet at 2 points. The first point is this point, okay, and the second point is this point. All right, let's start with the first one. We're going to trace it down to the x-axis. So we're going to have this answer. This is minus 1.5 on the x-axis. So yeah, minus 1.5. Then we will trace it down. Trace the same point to the y-axis on the right. The answer is 2.0. Look at between 0 to 5. We have 10 lines. So if you divide that 5 units into 10 places, we're going to have 5 over 10, which is going to give us 0.5. So it means this point is 0.5. The next one is 1.0, addition of 0.5, which is 1.5, and this is going to be 2.0. So our y coordinate is 2.0. Alright, so that's the first point of intersection between the straight line graph and the curve. The curve is y equals to 2x squared plus x minus 1, which is this, and then there's a curve, and the straight line graph is the y equals to 2x plus 5. Alright, so now the second point of intersection, we trace it also, this point. We trace it down to the x-axis, so let's go. The answer is 2.0 on the x-axis. So we have 2.0. Now let's trace it to y-axis. Trace it down to the left hand side where the y-axis is. This is 9. Because before it was 2 here, there is 2.5, 3, 3.5. This is 4, 4.5, 5, 5.5, 6.0, 6.5, 7, 7.5, 8, 8.5, and then this is 9. Which is just 9.0. So these are our 2 points of intersection. They both meet at minus 1.5, 2.0 and 2.0, 9.0. When tracing the answers, the correct option is option E. It has 2.0, 9.0, which is the second point here, the second point of intersection here. And then the other one is minus 1.5, 2.0. So the correct answer is option E. Right. WASSCE 2020 mathematics questions, question number 49. We're using the same information, the same graph. We said 49, if x equals to minus 2.5, what is the value of y on the curve? Our curve is the graph of this quadratic function. So let's trace it out and trace where x is minus 2.5 and look at its y. Now, looking at the x-axis here, the x-axis, looking at the x-axis like that, minus 2.5 is here, so we'll trace it up to the curve. And here we are. Now, we're not meant to substitute minus 2.5 in the function y equals to 2x squared plus x minus 1. No, we're only meant to trace it out using the graph. So after tracing this x equals to minus 2.5 to the curve here at this point, we're going to trace this point to the y-axis on the right hand side. Let's go. So tracing this point to the y-axis. So the answer here is 8.5. So when x is minus 2.5, the value of y is 8.5. So the correct option is option B. WASSCE 2020 mathematics questions, question number 50. If x plus 2 is a factor of x squared plus px minus 10, find the value of p. First, we're going to get the zeros of this factor.
And we're going to substitute this 0, which is going to be x equals minus 2, inside x squared plus px minus 10. We're going to equate x plus 2 to 0 and then solve. So x is equals to minus 2. Then we substitute minus 2 into this quadratic expression, x squared plus px minus 10. When we substitute x equals minus 2 into this quadratic expression, it's going to give us 0 as well. So I'm going to equate x squared plus px minus 10 equals to 0, and we solve.
So let's plug in that minus 2 squared p times minus 2 minus 10. Minus 2 times minus 2 is 4. Minus 2 times p is minus 2p minus 10. Collecting like times 4 minus 10. Minus 2p to the right hand side become positive 2p is minus 6. Dividing both sides by 2. Then the p will be minus 3. And that is option B. Thank you for watching. VictorMaC.
Trust me, you are a victor. Wish you good success. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. And please don't forget to subscribe and engage online. This helps the channel to grow. Share with your friends, families, and across your social media platforms. Leave a comment and send your questions to our email address, victorsmathchannel@gmail.com. Our YouTube website address is www.youtube.com/VictorMac. The V and the M and the C may not necessarily be in capital letters. If you're watching online, below this website address are the CTAs, the call to actions, which you can click to subscribe or get linked to other videos on this channel. And thanks for watching. See you in our next video.